What's up, guys? Welcome to the Tectonic YouTube channel. Now, what I have here is an AI chat model that I've been working on based off of the Google Notebook platform, essentially the base for this AI. And the parts that I blurred out is the coding and the work that I put into it in order for it to do this. And essentially what it does now is that it works off the data that I feed it. And mind you, I'm still studying this, still working on it, understanding it, but I thought this was pretty cool. Essentially what you're seeing right now is I gave it some information about a topic of a podcast I wanted to make. And if you see right here, I had it create two hosts. So there's a guy and a girl that you're going to hear talking. And then the point of this is to have myself communicate and integrate into this podcast. So I gave it information, wrote the code, designed it based off Google Notebook, gave it the information I wanted to design the podcast off. It designed the podcast. The podcast is a set level that's done. And now I'm going to have a conversation with it, in a sense. So let's kind of see how this goes. If this video is choppy, it's because I am taking parts and going along with it. So here we go.
Welcome in, everyone, to this deep dive. We're going to get into something today that is really fundamental to, I think, anyone trying to run a business these days.
Yeah.
Which is, we're in this digital space.
Right.
And, we see advertising everywhere we go online. So how do we actually know?
Yep. Oh, hey there. How can we help?
Hey guys, how's it going? Just here, Tectonic here at Pathfinders No Market. I'm looking forward to being a part of this conversation and giving my input on this topic.
Hey, that's fantastic.
Glad to have you with us.
We're really looking forward to
How much people trust advertising they see on social media.
Right.
And before we get too deep, let's hear it.
Well, I'm not too sure how much they trust, because this information, you have to think of it both ways. It comes from me, the small business, producing the ads on their respectful platform, and then the consumer seeing the ad, hopefully interacting with it.
Absolutely. It's a really insightful way to look at it.
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
What's fascinating here is that your high-level environment.
It's for business.
Exactly. Networking.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. What's up?
So when it comes from my company, we do use LinkedIn when it comes to ads, but not LinkedIn ads, mainly LinkedIn Sales Navigator, because we're trying to approach our potential lead with a more human approach when it comes to chatting with them and letting them know that, hey, I'm a real person. I'm actually trying to get them insightful information about their business.
That's a really interesting distinction.
Yeah, that's a great point.
What you're highlighting here is that
it's
not just about the platform itself.
Okay.
It's also about how you use it.
Right, the strategies.
Exactly.
So you're going for a more personalized approach.
Be entertained.
Exactly.
You're there to further your professional goals.
Right, exactly.
Now, on the flip side.
Yeah. Yep. Go on.
So one last thing I want to talk about LinkedIn before you move on is another challenge with LinkedIn ads is that you're not necessarily kind of advertising to the masses. You're advertising to almost a gatekeeper and the person that's going to lead you to the right person that makes the decision making of whether to hire your agency or not for the work.
That's a really astute observation.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
You're highlighting a key challenge.
Yeah.
Which is that on LinkedIn, you're often not directly reaching the ultimate decision maker.
You're trying to reach the gatekeeper first.
Exactly. You're trying to influence someone.
Yeah.
Who can then advocate for you.
And I think this is a valuable insight.
Now, I do make a point. I'm essentially influencing the conversation to a degree because moving forward, I don't know what their next thing is going to say. So I kind of like interruptingly input myself into the conversation with my two AIs based on the scripting, the coding and the scripting that I wrote.
As areas where users might approach advertising with a little bit more caution.
Okay, so there's a bit more skepticism there.
Yeah, and again,
Yeah.
That's not to say that effective advertising can't happen there. It absolutely can.
Right.
But I think the starting point, that baseline level of trust from users when they encounter an ad, might be a little loner.
Yeah, I think, and that probably tracks with what we've all heard about advice.
Now, something I want to point out. Oh, whoops, dang it, I hit the wrong button.
Data privacy concerns.
Right.
Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
Well, something I want to point out is with Facebook, there is a lot of distrust. And essentially, personally, I've never been influenced by a Facebook ad. I have purchased off an Instagram ad. But Facebook has lately been having this little bit of a crisis, I believe. Now, remember, I'm a PPC guy, not a social media marketer. But I believe that they're having a bit of a crisis when it comes to an authentic ad from a client versus those crazy ads from like Temu, which nobody likes.
That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Especially the distinction you made between Facebook and Instagram.
What's fascinating here is that...
Yeah.
So playing with this literally for probably the second time, I think it's pretty cool. I don't know how else to use this. Just thought it was neat, integrate with this and talk to my AI that I built off of a script that I wrote for a podcast that I'm now implementing myself in. Pretty interesting stuff. I think it's fun. I look forward to playing with this some more and updating you guys on it. Thanks.